was staying in. It was a corrupt community, you know.
Yeah.
So I met up with got in, got mixed up with bad friends and
Yeah.
that day. Ended up on the streets
Are
from
they
there.
still here in the house at that time? Like your
Yes.
siblings?
They were still at the house at that time.
Okay.
And I got locked up, came out. My sister was like, no, can't have you staying here this way, that way. You became a criminal now.
This is around maybe like at what age?
That was 14.
So
15.
maybe like 2 years after.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my sister said I can't have you around, including around the kids and that day. And then I found myself in the streets, and then from there I made a plan to come to Durban. I ended up hitchhiking to Durban.
Sure.
I spent 2.5 days on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Were picked up by 2 trucks. Dropped me here and there. 2 vans that picked me up along the way. I had another old auntie asking for directions, which I've never been on the freeway before. So I helped her to get from one place to the next.
This is at 14.
Yeah. And then she also helped out with a couple of bucks for something to eat, you know.
Mm.
And then she gave me a Bible and she told me, may the Lord be with you where you're going to, and I hope you reach your destination safely.
Sure.
And she helped me out with about 200 rand just for food.
Sure. So what are you guys having a conversation like to the point where it gets to where she's like, oh, gives you this Bible and whatnot? So you guys having a conversation about your life and
yes.
And you being fully honest with, I'm going to Durban, I don't really.
Yes.
Sure.
I told her I got no one to go to. I don't even know what's waiting for me on the other side, you know?
Mm.
And then she pulled out the Bible, she put the 200 in the Bible, and she said, let the Lord be with you.
Mm.
And let you go safely, and hope there's something for you
Sure.
when you get there, you know?
Sure.
To get you on your feet and that. And may the Lord just be with you.
Yeah.
And I've not looked back from there, and I just came straight to Durban. And
had you actually ever been like to like the CBD of Durban before that?
No. I've only been in Squatborough, Mansantoti, Warner Beach, those places, you know, on the shoreline. This is like, since I came from Joburg on my own, it's been the first time that I've actually been in the city.
Mm.
Yeah.
So then, okay, in leaving that area, because there's also like a town sort of, I'd say like a central business district as well, like Scottsboro,
like
Doty side and whatnot.
Yeah, like the market, like into there's what you call this, it's like a small town.
Sure.
Like, you know, like when you go into town, you know, the Somalian shops and that.
For sure, been that side as well.
Pakistani shops, and then you got the big mall, into mall, not that big, but the shopping center. You know? Yeah.
So then, but what I guess my whole thing is like, what was your idea in terms of leaving that side, deciding to come to
Durban? Well, work-wise, there's no work that side, you know. So I left Johannesburg, came to Durban, and not knowing that coming here, that I was also going to battle, because now while I'm on the streets, it's not easy getting a job. So I battled here, and I had 2 people helping me out with working that day. But how can I say, the situation is accommodation-wise, and work-wise, I can't cope, because I need a place to rest while I'm working, you know. And that didn't work out, so I ended up just losing the jobs.
Sure. Okay, so your whole thing was, I'm going to Durban to try sort of figure out my life, find a job, get a place to stay, that sort of vibe. Okay, and when you got here initially, you did find something like that.
Yes, but it didn't work out for me. Right now, I'm still working my way through and getting something like that, so I can try and build my life for myself, you know?
Yeah.
Become someone, and that hasn't really happened as yet, but hopefully, by God's grace, soon enough dwell, you know.
Sure. No, I definitely hear that. Okay, so you get here in Durban. Where's the first place you go to?
Well, it was center of town, so I came here. I ended up in Victoria Street.
Mm-hmm.
From Victoria Street, I found myself on the beachfront. They got a skate park.
Sure.
Met a couple of friends. I started skateboarding from there. It was going well, good vibe, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, for a month or so, I slept on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Met up with 1, 2 friends at the skate park, really good skateboarders, got into skateboarding and all. I met one guy there. Then immediately I was putting into work.
Sure.
And work or accommodation wise, I ended up booking into a shelter. I didn't know about any other shelters.
Mm-hmm.
The shelter was 45 Rand a night.
Sure.
With the other shelters are 25 Rand, 30 Rand a night. I ended up paying 45 Rand a night.
Sure.
So with the money I was earning 100 Rand a day, so it didn't really work out because shelter wise.
Most of it you're spending it at the shelter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know there was cheaper shelters at the time.
Sure.
So I couldn't cope.
What was this work that you were doing?
I was offloading loading containers and offloading containers, trucks. It was in a warehouse in what's this place called? Springfield Park.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So it was wafers, sometimes it's candles, matches, arrow matches, all these cheap matches.
Sure. Okay. So, yeah, I get it. You're doing that, you're offloading stuff, and then you come back to the shelters and you're like, oh, I'm pretty much spending half of my money. Maybe like transport as well, or were they fetching you?
Yes.
Transport plus the shelter, most of your money is gone.
Gone.
Yeah.
I really